What's up, guys? Welcome back to Whetto's World. It's your boy Whetto, and on today's episode, we're going to take you down a trip with some accessories. Today, I've got Chelsea here with me, and we're going to break down her hustle with Kujo Accessories and what she's doing. So, of course, you know we're going to shout out the sponsors. Shout out to Dry Point Distiller one time. Appreciate you on that, my man Chris. You're a badass. Thank you for making the ride that you do. And, of course, you know we're going to hit you with a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to dive into the hustle. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's your boy Whetto. I'm here with Chelsea. Let's figure this thing out. So, Miss Chelsea, who are you? Where are you from?
My name's Chelsea. I'm from Richardson, Texas. I grew up there until I was in 11th grade, and then I moved in the middle of high school my junior year, and then I moved to Nashville, Tennessee. Actually, the town was called Hendersonville. Hendersonville.
Hendersonville.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta have the Ville in there.
All my Hendersonvillians out there. I lived in Hendersonville, and I didn't know anybody. I went from a school of 4,000 to a school of I think my class was maybe 600, but maybe less, maybe 300. I don't know. To me, it was
tiny.
Small.
Yeah.
Yes, compared to living in Dallas. Cool fact is Taylor Swift went to school there.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love me some T-Sweet.
Yeah, and she would drive a big yellow Hummer around town, and her house was near ours, so me and my sisters would do a drive by and be like, that's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just my fun fact from high school. After high school, I moved to New York City. I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Very well traveled already, as it sounds.
Yes. So the good thing about moving in the middle of high school for me was that I learned that you can make friends, even though it's hard. I hated it for the first year almost, but then eventually I kind of was able to make friends. But it helped me to move away, because when you're in a small town, you're really tight knit, you don't want to leave.
Right.
But because I kind of was we're good friends, but I'm gonna leave and
Another
I'm gonna go
brick
to New
in
York.
the wall kind of thing. Yeah.
So I was able to move to New York, and so I went to school there. I lived in New York for about 8 years. I graduated with a degree in accessory design, and then I also got a certification in athletic footwear design.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my favorite. Those were my favorite classes. And I also got a minor in art history as a little plus. I just enjoyed the art history classes, and so I don't know, the people there were like, you can get a minor if you take 2 more classes.
Right, that's when they
sign
sucker
me
you in.
up.
Hell yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Sign me up. But if you took me to an art museum, I might not be able to tell you everything about the painting.
As long as you're well orchestrated in a lot of different aspects, sounds like.
I can tell you what era it's from just by the clothes in the painting, but that's about how far I can go.
Nice, yeah. I had to do a little bit in, so I graduated with a fashion degree from NMSU here. Shout out to all the Aggies. So yeah, we did historical fashion stuff, accessories, nowhere near as in depth, I'm sure, as you did in New York, because that's the main hub of all the top dogs go out there. So if not, it's either New York or LA. That's where they kind of make the beasts in pretty much any line of fashion, it seems like. So I did get to dabble in a little bit of that, and I respect the hustle that you got going. So you have tons going on for you.
Yes.
Now with the accessories, and you said athletic footwear as well?
Yes.
So why'd you go accessories and not footwear?
Oh, great question. So the footwear industry is highly competitive. I was always the kid in art class that couldn't follow the rules. When perspective drawing came into play, my perspective drawing was oh no. It's I did squiggly lines in different directions. So with athletic footwear design, it's a lot of perspective drawing, your outsoles, your drafting. It's a lot of knowing how to have perfect curves. It's you gotta really know how to be able to draw really well. Well, from what I was doing.
Right.
And I really do enjoy it, but I'm a recovering perfectionist, if you must. So
yes.
I would draw the sneakers and erase and draw and erase, and it would just take me forever to get from one end to the next, and it just so for me, I love the shoes. I loved designing shoes, and I actually did get to dabble a little bit in shoe design for a while, and still kind of do, but not that like the athletic like adult sneakers, simply because of like there's like ergonomics that go into it, and
there's so much more. There's so many levels to it. It's ridiculous.
There's so many levels. So I mean, I could have taken that route, but I didn't. It's never too late.
Correct.
But yeah, I just have a mad respect for athletic footwear designers, and I love looking at sneakers as inspiration. But yeah, the shoes were actually my favorite thing to make in school.
Okay.
Yeah, over handbags.
Really?
Yeah, I really was not a fan of handbag class personally, because to make a handbag, you start with nothing, and you just make the patterns by just like thinking of it in your head, right? And with a shoe, you work on a last, so you're building on top of something. So my brain works better when I am hands-on.
Visuals and like actually being able to move it and feel it. Yes, most definitely.
Yes, I'm very good with manipulating materials and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know if I answered your question, but okay, so I went off. So I chose accessories because I've always wanted to have my own brand. Since I was younger, I always painted my shoes and painted my backpack and made my own headbands and made my own like little clothes. Like I didn't make something from scratch. I would go thrift shopping and then I would add to it.
Okay.
And then customize it.
Make it your own. Hell yeah. You gotta have a little bit of flavor to it.
Yes.
Most def.
So I always loved doing that. And so since I was younger, I actually have like always wanted to have a brand and go to fashion school. So I really am blessed to have been able to get to do that route, and I'm working hard to keep it going.
It's definitely not easy to, once you can see the end goal before you start, that makes it a little easier, but maintaining and getting to that point is the part a lot of people kind of leave to the, guessing. Yes. So it's cool that you've created your own Kujo Accessories line now. So where did Kujo come from?
Great question. So Kujo is a nickname my dad gave me when I was younger. It is the scary dog. I used to cry a lot as a baby. I was an emotional baby. So he used to call me Kujo, like as a joke, like he was scared of me. I don't know. Anyway, it stuck.
It was a good movie. It's a very scary movie.
I haven't seen the whole thing.
You've never seen the whole thing?
I've seen a clip or two recently to kind of see what it's all about, and I was like, ooh. But
it's a really big dog. A really mean one too.
Well, I'm opposite of those things, but my dad would joke and pretend like I was like gonna scare. It was a thing. So my dad nicknamed me Kujo, and ever since I was younger, I signed all my artwork with Kujo.
Kujo.
And I spelled it with a K on my own. I was in kindergarten. The art teacher explained how some artists get to use their own name.
Right.
And I was like, I don't have to sign my name on this? And she's like, no, you can use an artist name.
I'll let you know.
So, like, the art at my house, my mom has up and stuff, all has, like,
it's all Kujo. That's cool.
So, yeah, that stuck with me, and I always just was like, you know what? I'm going to have the name Kujo as a brand one day.
Hell yeah. And now, so you're doing this here in Las Cruces. Obviously, you're not from Cruces. What originally brought you here?
That's another great question. So after living in New York for 8 years, I got homesick. I have sisters. I have lots of cousins I'm very close with. I got homesick, so I was like, I need to go home and like recalibrate and see where I'm gonna go with life.
Yeah.
So I went back home to Dallas for 2 years, and I did a Match.com profile, and I met someone on Match.com that had their zip code to Dallas.
Okay.
That person actually lived in Roswell.
Oh, shout out Roswell one time.
Roswell. And he had put it to Dallas because he couldn't find any ladies in Roswell that were like compatible with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to high school in Dallas. So long story short, his mom still lived there, so he would come to Dallas often. And so he tried Dallas. And so anyway, we hit it off. We're engaged now.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and so his job was in Roswell and moved him to Cruces, and I decided to join. And I was like, I'm ready for an adventure. I got my family time in. Let's go start something new. So I came to Las Cruces, and I love it.
You love it? It's hard not to love this place. It's a very beautiful country out here. The sunsets are amazing. The people are usually pretty nice, but the food is where it's really at. All the spices, the culture in it is amazing, very tasty, very hot. I was dying before we actually got into all this on some chips that were a little too spicy, but they're pretty tasty. But it's cool that you're very well traveled. I know a lot of the people that I know that are usually a little bit shorter usually pack a big punch in what they're doing. So true to it, you are obviously doing a lot. Now you've got some accessories here with us. You're doing headbands. You're doing hair. What are these called exactly?
So these are some of my like luxury headbands. I like to call them like goddess headbands.
Oh, okay.
They're for like, you know, if you want to have like a fancy photo shoot, or you want to go to a wedding and you want something nice to go with your dress, or you're getting married and you don't want the traditional type of bridal piece.
Right.
I used to work in a store called Henry Bendel's in New York. It was a department store. It was on Fifth Avenue, and it was like super fancy. Like everything was mad expensive. And I just worked in the hair accessory room, and I used to look at all of these accessories and think, I can make this, and they were selling them for crazy prices.
Right.
And so like I make something like just as good quality as some of these people up in New York that are selling them for $500 pop or more here, and I sell it for a lot more of an affordable price. I do it because I love it. They're unique. A lot of them are one of a kind. I can't replicate it. To me, it's art. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've learned it's not necessarily the sustainable route just to make one. I don't know, actually. I haven't learned yet, okay? I'm working on it.
We're all learning something.
We're figuring it out.
Right.
Because, you know, if you got one of one, you know, some people might want it too, and you can't replicate it.
Right.
So I try to promote it as this is the only one, you know, in the world. So enjoy.
There you go.
But then I do have my everyday collection, which are headbands like so.
Very beautiful. And you sew these yourself?
Yes.
Wow, check you out. Look at that. Nicely done, good quality, good. I like the presentation. I'm a big,
Thank you.
like it looks like it's already ready to be in a store. Now, do you have a store, or are you doing everything, you're just kicking it all out of your house, or how are you guys doing that?
Yes, so thank you so much.
Very well.
So I have an online shop that I just got to really put some love into. So I have my online shop, and then I've been doing pop-ups around town. I do the farmer's market, not during the summer though. Like I do it September, October, November, that time frame.
A little bit cooler time for sure.
Yeah,
around
the
here.
cooler time. I'm like a weenie when it comes to the heat.
It gets super hot. We're not Arizona hot, but it's dry heat will, man, I don't wear makeup, but I could only imagine when you ladies have to do all the extra stuff with your hair, the makeup, that's probably very heavy to wear all the time, especially then. So it's very smart that you pick a cooler time and climate to get out there and sell some stuff. Are you having a success with that?
Yes, I have. I've found a lot of success and a lot of fun, especially I love doing the pop-ups lately. I've always had to say no, because I actually, for the longest time, have had a job as a children's clothing designer.
Oh, nice.
So my day job, per se, is to design children's clothes for a company up in New York. And like, I do like children's like socks, mostly hosiery right now, but I've done the clothing, and then I moved to departments. I'm doing socks. I do some textile blankets. So that part, it's been something that's been part of my life for a long time.
Dang. Yeah, man.
But summer came, but I had this epiphany, and I was like, I really need to have the summer to put love into my brand, because it was really getting into my joy and happiness to not be able to work on my stuff.
Right.
So this summer I've been able to have time to focus on building the website, writing proper descriptions, and getting to really make sure everything is like nicely made and well kept. Putting love into it, really.
Yeah, the devil is in the detail for sure.
Yeah, so it's been such a fun summer, and like I do have to go back to work after Labor Day, but I'm like already finding little like great wins, because somebody there that is covering for me over the summer is interested in also working still during the year. Nice. So I'm working up a plan that like maybe we can like half the work, and that way I can still balance both, simply because, you know, for me, I'm the kind of person that like I'm not really well, I'm not good at like taking the biggest risk, like, and not having anything. But lately, I don't know. I've been getting a taste of it, and I'm getting close to being like.
Well, you're taking
risk.
calculated risks, and that's
Okay.
that's a huge difference in just kind of like, I don't know, let's see if this works. Like it sounds like you're obviously putting in the work behind the scenes, which makes a lot of the decision making a little bit easier and kind of alleviates some of the stress and like, I don't know, it's like, well, everything's set up for it to work, so it's gonna work. Let's try it, and that makes it way easier to pull the trigger and be like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So, and obviously what you're doing with, like I said, you have a great presentation. People can obviously reach out to you and buy your merchandise because you took the time to do the website. Who are you using as like your website host?
I'm using Wix.com.
Yes, me too. That's a very good source. And customer service is interesting, but a lot of it is very user friendly, and that's what I like. So
same. User friendly to the max.
Mm-hmm.
I use Wix because in New York, if we lived in New York, they host like free classes, you can go into the Wix offices in New York City and just go in and tell them you have an issue and there's someone to help you.
That's cool. Very helpful.
So back in the day, I would go to these classes and learn how to use the website and realize this is like so user friendly. This is great. So I stuck with it. But I agree, it's really user friendly. I haven't had to reach out to support yet, so I'll get my.
Because I do a lot with the industry stuff I've got here. I keep everything. The inventory is on track there. All the invoices, which are always a good thing. The shipping, everything is just one click, boom. Let me see what is forecasted, what I've done for my sales. I can just print it all. Yeah, so it helps way more than having to kind of like do it all yourself. And like, man, so anybody looking to get into the Wix, I would highly encourage it. So you got 2 testimonials of it saying it's a really good job. So not saying anybody that uses Spotify, I know some that do, or Shopify, and some that use Big Cartel. That's where I started.
Okay.
It's on Big Cartel. It was free, and I think they let you hold, up to like 5 images, products, whatever, and you can kind of build. The more you pay, the more you get to play, kind of thing. But so clearly, you're up to a lot. What we're gonna do is take a quick commercial break. We're gonna dive back into the hustle as soon as we get back with Chelsea and Kujo Accessories. Be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so we are here with Chelsea, Kujo Accessories. We have been diving into who she is, where she's from, what she's doing on the accessories, the fashion school. She's doing things in New York. She's here in New Mexico. Man, she's doing the most. So let's continue the hustle and wrap this thing up. So as I've said, like, you've been doing a lot of different things. Now you also have a book here. So what's going on with that?
So during the pandemic, my fiance and I decided to write a children's book about coronavirus.
Okay.
It's a totally left field from the accessories, but I love to be creative. I love to do graphic design, since obviously I was just telling you I do that on the as a day job. And so it really it's like second nature to me to do the graphics. And so my fiance told me his dream as a kid was to write a children's book, and one of my dreams, and I continue to hopefully fulfill, is to help other people's visions come to life. That brings me so much joy. So I was like, dude, let's do it. Like, we could do.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about it, let's just do it. And so we had time. He had 2 weeks off from work, from quarantine. So in that 2 weeks, we wrote a book, and we worked on it like day in, day out. I stayed up till like midnight every night working on it. But it rhymes. It teaches children, what coronavirus is, facts from the CDC. This was like pre-masks. So there is a fact in there that says that you should save the masks for the doctors, but then shortly after they said you should wear the masks. But hey, man, we wrote it right at the beginning. But anyways, so this book is really special because I feel like it's just like a tiny seed of more books that I would love to write for children in the future.
Yeah, most definitely.
So yeah, but we
Huge stepping stone for sure. Like it's quite an accomplishment. And are you published? Where are you pushing it out of?
So I self-published it on BarnesandNoble.com. So you can get it at BarnesandNoble.com.
That's so cool, man. Super cool. Very well. Yeah, look at that. It's got lots of good illustrations to it. Nice, vibrant colors. That's super cool, man. Lots of interesting facts to it. That's super cool. You guys better check this out.
Yes.
Nice.
It rhymes too, so that was a fun thing
That
to
always
do.
helps.
We were just like throwing words out back and forth, like trying to rhyme. Like, that's not a word. Yes, it is. Like Googling it. It's actually a word, but it's not what we need it to mean. Anyways, and then like something special happened. We reached out to the Sun News. Actually, I didn't. My fiance Dominic did, and we got featured in the Las Cruces newspaper.
Hey, check that out. That's super cool.
It was really exciting.
Making headlines.
That was really cool. We were very grateful and doing the happy dance after that.
Heck
so.
yeah. Well, shout out to Dominic taking the chance one time. Oh man, that's good thinking. Putting you out there in front of a lot of the locals too. It's the entire COVID thing itself has been a very interesting situation,
Yes.
especially as a small business myself, and I know you can definitely testify too. Thankfully, we both do have online stores, so be sure to shop at DWIW.shop and KujoAccessories.com. Get you some damn gear. Help us stay alive. But either way, like it's been a very interesting move as far as, you know, being an entrepreneur is scary as hell in itself, but you know, the fact that most of the people I knew that were doing or had been established were just closing doors left and right was scary as hell for me. Hoping that, you know, I can keep my door afloat. So thank you to everybody that is buying stuff from us.
Yes.
But I mean, either way, you're still making it happen. So with that, now I definitely and always traditionally like to cheers to the success that you are doing. So shout out to Dry Point Distillers one time, my man. Thank you, Chris. So get you some of this whiskey. Cool. Well, cheers to you. Welcome to Whetto's World.
Thank you.
Kujo Accessories. Wish you nothing but the best of luck. So, good stuff. Now, also, as a tradition, I like to ask, what does Do What I Want mean to you? What do you think it represents in your hustle?
Well, I feel like it means you do what you want and you don't care what anybody else says.
Correct.
And you don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
You have your boundaries. You do what you need to do for you.
Correct. It's a very thin line, gray line sometimes in, you know, being down. That shot was good. Make it water. It's a very thin line as far as, you know, doing what I want to do. I could kind of just be a little hellion, or we could be, and just piss off and do whatever we want to do. But, you know, there's also a positive line to that as well, that you can take what you do, as well as we do here, and create something powerful, being able to engage with other people, help other people not only feel good about how they look and what they're wearing, but also just kind of be a better person in general. So it's a cool little route to take on your own. So congratulations on the hustle in general. That is not easy, and especially in today's day and age. So
Agreed.
as I mentioned to you guys before, be sure to get her any of her accessories at KujoAccessories.com. If anybody else is trying to look out to reach you on Instagram, what's your handles? What do you have tags for?
Oh, but I have tags.
As far as like, where can they reach you?
Oh, Kujo Accessories.
It's all, everything is
Instagram, yep.
okay.
And then in my Kujo Accessories bio, there's a little button you can click that directs you just to my graphics too, because I love to intertwine like motivational graphics with my accessories.
Nice.
Just, you know,
A little uplifting
little message of the day.
Hell yeah. So what do you have coming up next? Is there anything you're working on particularly that's like, I guess like your undercover work? Are you doing anything with new accessories, new line work of any kind?
Yes. So I am now starting to plan for fall.
Mm-hmm.
So that means my process is I get a big like whiteboard and I just make a big inspiration like trend board, vision board, however you want to call it, and start planning for the next season. So I'm working on that. When I leave here, I'll be working on that and starting to order from suppliers different fabrics and trying to plan out a new fall collection so everybody can have like their fall headbands with great colors. So that's what I'm working on now, and I just want to keep it growing and yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Hell yeah. And you said also, if anyone's trying to reach you, you're doing the pop-up at the farmers markets?
Yes, I do Saturday farmers market, but probably starting in September. I post on my Instagram, so if anybody wants to find out, or they can DM me, anything like that. I do like lots of pop-ups in town too, which I also promote. So yeah, I'm around town. I'm here. I always meet people over at Barnes & Noble. Like, if you want to look at headbands, I like bring a trunk full of headbands to Barnes & Noble parking lot. Check out some colors.
Hey, trunk hustling is where it's at. That's how all this got started. So it's small steps make big journeys. So
truly. So yeah. So I'm really flexible and happy to accommodate to your accessory needs.
Hey, there we go. Hell yeah. Well, I would much graciously like to say thank you for coming to join me here on Whetto's World. Much appreciated. It's really cool to see the hustle that you got. Like I said, a lot of the shorter people I know have a huge hustle in them. So very cool on that, man. And as for you guys watching at home, be sure to hit me up here at the Industry. I'm at 1770 South Tell Shore in Las Cruces. Or like we said earlier, DWIW.shop. You can get all your cool gear, get you some t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you want to get. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. All the cool things on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Be sure catch me on all those things. And as that goes, it is a wrap here on Whetto's World. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bam.